and you have been through a lot. Suns fans have been through a lot with you. What's it like to finally get to this stage with the franchise that drafted you and the fans that have been with you since day one?
Yeah, I mean, it's a feeling that's, kind of hard to put to words. You always reflect, after a game like this, or after you close this series out, you just sit back and reflect a little bit and think about what you just talked about, what we've been through as an organization and as a team. And even the short time that Monty's been here, just, watching the culture develop and watching, players get better every day and people put their hard hats on and come in and work every day. So, it's a beautiful sight to see hard work pay off.
Next up is Cameron Cox with 12 News, and then Dwayne Rankin.
What were the emotions after the game with the guys in the locker room, knowing you guys were able to advance in this series?
We were hyped, man. Chris was saying before the game, he ain't never swept somebody. He ain't never beat anybody 4-0. And I don't know when the last time the Suns have been to the Western Conference Finals, but, tonight is one of them nights that, we celebrate in-house, and then, we wake up tomorrow and, we're on to either the Clippers or Utah, just paying attention to those games.
Next up is Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic, and then Mark Schwartz.
Well, Devin, the last time was 2010. This was the last time the Suns made the playoffs.
No, Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, Western Conference Finals,
okay,
the last time.
Yeah,
played the Lakers, played Kobe, in the Lakers. Wanted to ask you, though, just about, you approaching Jokic. Is that a situation, hey, look, I didn't like what I saw right there, and I got to stand up for my guy?
Yeah, that's all I said, just what are you doing? I mean, I think, it was just an emotional play. I don't think he meant harm by it after, but, just a frustration foul. But, it was tough just defending my teammate. That was it. But I seen him go up to Cam after and apologize. And, I've played against the Joker multiple times. I know, he's not a malicious player.
Next is Mark Schwartz with ESPN, and then Kellen Olson.
Look, two-part question about Chris. First of all, what has he meant to you as a player and as a person? And secondly, how did he put his stamp on this series and bring you home in a sweep?
I mean, it's hard, to just narrow it down on, how he's helped me. You can go on the court, off the court, but what most comes to my mind at first is just, how he carries himself as, a true veteran in this league and a true professional. I said it after last game, just, his approach to the game, the way he trains, the way he takes care of his body, his diet, his sleep regimen. So, there's many things, there's many bits and pieces that, he'll come to me and talk about a lot, but, I just sit back and observe him at the same time. And learn that way, So I'm not the only person that will be saying this. I'm sure you can ask anybody on this team, how has Chris, developed your game? And, everybody's going to have a lengthy answer because he cares. He cares about each and every individual, and, he'll let you know when he sees something that can better you.
We're going to have Chris Paul available in the locker room. Next up is going to be Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports, followed by Nick King.
Hey, Book, saw you were able to celebrate with your family here at the game and Chris's as well. I believe Chris gave your dad a big hug after, too. Just what was it like to have your family here for this moment?
Yeah, man, it's an unbelievable feeling. I always tell people that's my why. That's the reason I play the game. And to see the excitement on my sister's face, see the excitement on my mother's face and my brother, So, we've been through a lot as a family, and they love to watch me succeed, and anytime I can put a smile on their face, there's no feeling like it for real. So that's what keeps me going.
Next is Nick King with Channel 3, Channel 5, and then Gina Mizell.
Devin, you also had a moment with Monty right before you left the court. What was that couple of seconds like for you? He had a pretty big smile on his face, which we don't often see.
Yeah, like I said, it's the time that, we celebrate, man. We put a lot of work in, and I think, as a group, as a unit, from top to bottom, coaching staff to trainers to the doctors, everybody, this is the time to celebrate what we did. But, we wake up tomorrow and we're on to the next goal.
Next is Gina Mizell with Suns.com, and then Jovan Buha.
Hey, Book, I know you guys expected Denver to keep fighting in this series, and especially once Jokic went out of the game, but just what was the key tonight to withstanding every time they kind of made a push? You guys never let it, get too tight or just always seem to have an answer.
I mean, we've been there before. We prepared ourselves, for those moments. I recall it, before every game, you hear us come together as a team and say, they're going to go on a run at some point. That's when we stick together even more. That's when we bring it together even more. That's when we communicate even more. And that was the name of the game. They came back, they gave us their best shot in the fourth, and, we just kept playing through, kept fighting, relied on our defense. We understand that, we can score. We can score, with the best of them in very different types of ways. And, we punish teams for different coverages, but what we have to rely on is our defense, and that when we lock in, that's where it's at.
Next up is Jovan Buha with The Athletic, followed by Kent Somers.
Hey, Book, you just mentioned the defense, and you guys were 6th in defensive rating in the regular season. You've jumped up to 2nd in the postseason. I'm curious where you've seen the biggest growth or progress as a group defensively in the playoffs.
Our goal at the beginning of the season was to be top 5 in both categories, offense and defense. But our improvement, I think it's just our communication, our versatility, DeAndre protecting the paint, and then you just have some competitive wings, that can switch a lot of actions, guard a lot of different types of players. Jay Crowder being the grit, of that. Mikal, taking on any top scorer in the league every night. He's been doing that all season. So, we just trust it. We trust it, and we play together, and we talk it out together, and we hold each other accountable.
We got time for 3 more. Next up is going to be Kent Somers with the Arizona Republic, and then Evan Sidery.
Speaking of defense, it did at times tonight. It didn't look as maybe locked down as it has been the last 4 or 5 games. I don't know if you felt that, and if so, what carried you guys through those times?
I'd say communication, holding each other accountable. We know when we're not playing the type of defense that we need to be playing. So we communicate that amongst each other, and we tell each other it's time to lock in. And that's what we do. But, we've seen a kind of a different style of offense, once Jokic went out, and having JaVale, picking and rolling to the rim. So the other 3 games, our whole defense was honestly to cut the head off the snake and guard Jokic. So once he was out, I think it opened up a lot of opportunities for them.
Final 2 questions are going to be Evan Sidery with Forbes and Dwayne Rankin.
Book, just over 2 years ago now, Monty was hired as the head coach. Did you ever expect to be in this position so quickly on the cusp of potentially an NBA Finals berth if you make it through the next round?
I didn't not expect it, to be honest. I'd never go into the season saying we can't make it there or we can't do it.